Welcome to the Explainer. So, have you ever been completely stumped by a repair? You're convinced a part is good, only to find out hours later that you were wrong? Well, today, we're diving into one of the most common culprits for that exact headache, the relay. It seems so simple to test, right? But there's this hidden trap that, believe me, even the pros fall into. We're going to show you exactly how to avoid it and test these things like a real pro. Let's just kick things off with this quote because it gets right to the heart of the problem. This is the exact scenario that has driven countless people crazy. You hear that nice, satisfying click. You think, aha, found it. But the circuit still doesn't work. It's a classic dead end, and man, is it frustrating. So that's the big question, isn't it? How on earth can a relay click and still be completely broken? This is the central mystery we are solving today. And, understanding the answer here is the key to accurate diagnosis. That means less time wasted, less money spent on parts you don't need, and just a whole lot less frustration. Because that little click, well, it's not telling you the whole truth. Okay, so first, let's really dig into this problem, this trap that gets professionals and experts alike. It's so common because it feels like common sense, but with electronics, sometimes common sense can lead you right down the wrong path. Yeah, that satisfying little clicking sound is incredibly misleading. Think of it like this. It's like hearing the sound of a door latch clicking into place, but the door itself is still jammed shut. The sound just confirms one part of the mechanism is working, the electromagnet, but it tells you absolutely nothing about whether the electrical switch inside is actually making a clean, solid connection. So to test it the right way, we've got to know what we're looking at. These little black boxes have a ton of information printed right on them, and all of it is super important for testing. Let's decode this thing. At its heart, a relay is actually a pretty brilliant little device. The best way to think of it is as a remote control for a high-power circuit. A tiny, totally safe 12-volt signal can switch something huge like a 240-volt appliance on and off. It's a really clever way to keep circuits isolated, but of course, it only works if it's, well, working correctly. Now, these markings, this is basically the relay's resume. The 12 VDC tells you exactly what voltage it needs to make that click. And that 10A, 240 VAC, well, that tells you the maximum load the switch part can handle. Understanding these is absolutely crucial, not just for picking the right relay, but for testing it the right way. All right, let's get to the good stuff, the solution. See, there isn't just one test for a relay. There are 3 separate tests. And for a relay to be considered good, truly functional, it has to pass all 3 of them. No exceptions. These 3 steps in this exact order are the only way to be 100% certain that a relay is good to go. If you skip any of them, especially that last one, you're not really diagnosing, you're just guessing. And that, my friends, is a surefire way to waste a whole lot of time and money. Okay, first up, we check the coil's resistance. The coil is basically just a super long, thin wire wrapped around a core, and that wire should have a very specific resistance. You're looking for a reading in a certain range, usually a few hundred ohms. For a lot of common relays, anything over 200 ohms is a pretty good sign. This first test is super simple. It's a clear pass or a clear fail. If your multimeter reads OL, which just stands for open loop, meaning the wire inside is broken, or if it reads 0 ohms, which means you have a short circuit, then the relay has failed. You can stop right here. It's toast. Time for a new one. All right, now for the test that everybody knows and loves, the click test. You apply the right voltage to the coil, and you should hear that distinct click. This confirms the electromagnet is doing its job, but, and this is the most crucial part, it does not mean the relay is good. This is where most people stop, and it's exactly where they go wrong. And now, for the moment of truth, the test that gets skipped all the time but is actually the most important one of all. While the relay is energized, while it's clicked, you use your multimeter to check for continuity across the switch contacts. All continuity means is you're checking for a complete, unbroken path for electricity. This is the test that truly separates the good relays from the bad ones. So let's really break this down. Let's look at exactly why that click just isn't enough. Honestly, understanding this is what separates a good troubleshooter from a great one. See, that click only tells you that the electromagnet did its job. It pulled the switch arm over, that's it. It doesn't tell you a single thing about the condition of the actual electrical contact points. Are they clean? Are they corroded? Are they all pitted and burned from years of use? Any of those things can stop a solid connection from being made. And this quote just nails it, right?
Over time, those little contacts inside can get pitted, corroded, or even physically blocked by some gunk. So the switch arm moves, you hear the click, but zero electricity can actually get across. It's just like flipping a light switch that's internally broken. You feel the switch move, but the lights stay off. Same idea.
So let's wrap this all up. If you remember nothing else from this, remember this right here. Think of it like a pilot's pre-flight checklist. If a relay can't pass all 3 of these checks in order, it is not fit for service. End of story. This simple process will save you hours of frustration and stop you from replacing other parts that were probably fine all along. So, the next time you're troubleshooting and you hear that click, don't just assume anything. Remember this 3-step test and you can diagnose with total confidence. You know, this kind of thinking is what separates the pros from the amateurs. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other working parts out there might be fooling you? That's a question worth asking.